Alright, so I just did got my scope kind of sitting back on the paper and did a little quick 3-shot group, and as you know, I didn't have a great prop, just sitting up on the cab of my truck, but I got my gun put back together. Like I said, just my butt plate, the stock came out pretty good. I just sanded it down and used some dark walnut stain. I think it didn't take in real good, but it come out pretty nice. And then I actually did a satin black spray paint finish on this, a couple of 3 coats, and I still wooled in between each one to get it nice and smooth, and wound up baking it in the oven for almost 3 hours at 260 degrees. I don't know if you can tell, but I've re-crowned it with the lapping compound and stuff like that. And this is just a cheap Amazon pistol scope for this. At 25 yards, this was my first shot, and then I had a couple more, and I moved it over a couple of clicks just thinking that I could. And this is actually 3 shots. I don't know if you can tell. So you can look on the back. Yeah, you can kind of tell that's 3. And if not, just take my word for it that it is 3. And it's just for comparison, pretty tight. I'm just shooting this Monarch steel case, full metal jacket, 185 grain. Stuff is like $8 a box, pretty cheap, just for plinking and stuff. And then I moved it out to 50 yards, and the sun's in my eyes pretty bad, but this is my first shot, and I was pretty pleased with it. And then I kind of pulled on my second shot. I felt it when I let go, and it come way out. And so I fired 2 more shots just to give me a little bit better idea of what was going on. And they wound up going through the same hole, which is pretty cool. And again, I'll throw that quarter up there. So maybe, I don't know, 1.5 inch group, which is not super great at 50 yards, but like I said, it's propped up on my truck. The wind's blowing probably 8-10 miles an hour or so, and the sun was in my eyes pretty bad. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with this. Shooting super cheap ammo out of a gun that I just sat on a chop saw and cut 7 inches off the barrel. But I mean, I've got a little over $200 in it right now, and I'm pretty happy with what it's doing. I've got some other ammo. I'm going to test out some groups and stuff on it, so maybe I can do a little bit better than 2 or 3 MOA with some better ammo. But I did put a sling doohickey bobber on the front here, and then I just used the factory thing for this back one. I picked that sling up at Academy for $10 or so. So like I said, the coil spring that I had in here to begin with, probably not going to be able to see it, but there's a divide right here in the stock, so that bolt thing did not work. So if you can kind of see the coil right there, what I did is actually I had that nipple on the trigger, and I wrapped that coil spring around it and let it rest on it, and then that's actually just resting up against that divide that's in there. So it's really not making any back pressure. It just pulls all this front slack out of it. I mean, it's really, this is still really loose back here, so it's not adding any additional tension to that, but it just keeps it from being up here. And it's still tight enough that the bolt doesn't come out when you pull it back. As you can see, it moves the trigger as you're pulling it back. So all in all, I'm not going to call the mod a complete success, but it's not a complete failure either. I just had to kind of tweak it. Other than that, though, that's about it. Thanks.